approached, the tree's massive trunk shimmered in the sunlight, and a deep voice echoed from within the bark. "Kamau," the tree said, "I will ask you 3 riddles. If you answer them correctly, your wishes shall be granted. But if you fail, you must promise to learn the value of community and generosity." Kamau, thinking only of the riches he desired, eagerly agreed. The tree began with its first riddle. Once upon a time in the vibrant village of Njoro, there was a magical tree known as the Enchanted Baobab. This tree was ancient and wise, with a trunk so wide that it would take 10 people holding hands to circle it. Its branches stretched high into the sky, and its roots dug deep into the earth, whispering secrets from the past. The villagers believed that the Enchanted Baobab could grant wishes to those who could solve its riddles. Many had tried, but only a few had succeeded. Those who did found their lives filled with joy and prosperity, always using their wishes to help others. In this village lived a man named Kamau. Kamau was known for his greed. He always wanted more than he needed and never shared with others. When Kamau heard about the tree's powers, he saw a chance to become the richest man in the world. One sunny morning, Kamau set off to the Enchanted Baobab, determined to solve its riddles and claim his wishes. As he approached, the tree's massive trunk shimmered in the sunlight, and a deep voice echoed from within the bark. "Kamau," the tree said, "I will ask you 3 riddles. If you answer them correctly, your wishes shall be granted. But if you fail, you must promise to learn the value of community and generosity." Kamau, thinking only of the riches he desired, eagerly agreed. The tree began with its first riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Kamau thought for a moment and then confidently replied, "You are an echo." The tree's branches rustled in approval. "Very good, Kamau. Here is your second riddle. I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness flies. What am I?" Kamau furrowed his brow, deep in thought. Then he smiled and said, "You are a cloud." Once again, the tree's leaves shimmered in agreement. "You are clever, Kamau. Now for the final riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" Kamau was puzzled. He sat down at the base of the tree and thought hard. Minutes passed, and then he jumped up, exclaiming, "You are footsteps." The Enchanted Baobab's branches swayed gracefully. "You have answered all my riddles correctly, Kamau. You may now make your wishes. But remember, a promise is a promise." Kamau's eyes gleamed with greed. "I wish for a mountain of gold," he declared. In an instant, a golden mountain appeared before him. Kamau rushed to the mountain, his hands grabbing fistfuls of gold, his heart racing with excitement. But as he took more and more gold, he noticed something strange. The gold slipped through his fingers, vanishing back into the air. The tree's voice echoed again. "Kamau, you must learn that true wealth comes from what you give, not what you take. You have failed to keep your promise." Kamau was furious. "This is not fair. I solved your riddles." The Enchanted Baobab remained calm. "Kamau, you have one more chance. Use your wishes wisely and learn the lesson of generosity." Kamau sighed and thought hard. Finally, he said, "I wish for a field of crops to feed my village." Immediately, lush green fields full of ripe crops appeared. The villagers came running, their faces lit with joy. They began harvesting the crops, sharing the bounty with one another. Kamau watched, feeling a warmth in his heart he had never felt before. He realized that seeing his village happy and well-fed was more valuable than all the gold in the world. He turned to the tree and said, "I wish for a well that never runs dry, so my village will always have water." A crystal-clear well appeared, and the villagers cheered, grateful for the endless supply of fresh water. Kamau had one wish left. He looked around at the smiling faces of his neighbors and knew exactly what to do. He approached the Enchanted Baobab and said, "For my final wish, I wish for the wisdom to always make choices that help my community." The tree's leaves glowed with a soft light. "You have learned well, Kamau. Your wishes have brought great joy to your village. Remember, the greatest magic lies in the hearts of those who care for others." From that day on, Kamau became a changed man. He used his newfound wisdom to help his village thrive, always putting the needs of his community before his own. And the enchanted Baobab stood tall, a reminder that true happiness comes from giving and sharing. But one day, a new challenge appeared on the horizon. One day, as the villagers were celebrating a bountiful harvest, a stranger arrived in Njoro. The stranger's name was Nia, and she was a wanderer with stories of distant lands and adventures. She carried a mysterious, ornately carved box, which she kept close at all times. The villagers, curious and welcoming, invited Nia to share her stories by the fire. That evening, Nia told tales of mountains that touched the sky, rivers that glowed in the moonlight, and animals that spoke the language of humans. The villagers listened in awe, their imaginations soaring with every word. But Nia's most captivating tale was about the enchanted Baobab tree. "I've heard of this magical tree in my travels," Nia said, her eyes twinkling. "They say it grants wishes to those who solve its riddles. But there is a deeper secret it holds, one that even the wisest have not uncovered." Kamau, who had grown wise and kind, leaned forward. "What secret is that, Nia?" he asked. Nia glanced at her box and smiled mysteriously. "The tree is said to guard an ancient treasure, one that can only be found by those who possess true wisdom and a pure heart. Many have tried to find it, but none have succeeded. It is said that the treasure can bring everlasting prosperity to the village that unlocks its power." The villagers exchanged excited whispers. Could this treasure bring even more blessings to Njoro? Kamau, intrigued and eager to continue his journey of learning and helping, decided to seek the enchanted Baobab's counsel once more. Early the next morning, Kamau stood before the grand tree, the first rays of sunlight casting long shadows. "Enchanted Baobab," he called out, "I have heard of a hidden treasure you guard. Please guide me, so I may use it to help my village." The tree's leaves rustled, and the deep voice spoke again. "Kamau, you have learned much, but the path to this treasure is fraught with challenges. You must face 3 trials, each testing a different virtue: courage, kindness, and wisdom. Are you prepared to undertake this journey?" Kamau took a deep breath and nodded. "I am ready." The ground trembled, and a hidden passage opened at the base of the tree. "Step forward, Kamau, and begin your first trial," the tree instructed. Kamau entered the passage, which led to a dark tunnel. He walked for what felt like hours, the air growing colder with each step. Finally, he emerged into a vast, rocky cavern. In the center of the cavern stood a fierce lion, its eyes glowing in the dim light. "To pass this trial, you must show courage," a voice echoed through the cavern. "Calm the lion and prove your bravery." Kamau's heart pounded, but he remembered the lessons he had learned. He approached the lion slowly, speaking softly. "Great lion, I do not wish to harm you. I seek to help my village. Please, let me pass." The lion growled, but Kamau did not back away. Instead, he knelt and extended his hand. The lion sniffed Kamau's hand, then bowed its head, allowing Kamau to pass. Kamau felt a surge of relief and pride as he exited the cavern and entered a lush, green meadow. In the meadow, a group of children played, their laughter echoing in the air. But as Kamau watched, he noticed one child sitting alone, crying. "To pass this trial, you must show kindness," the voice whispered. Kamau approached the crying child and knelt beside her. "Why are you sad?" he asked gently. The child looked up, tears streaming down her face. "I lost my favorite toy, and I can't find it anywhere." Kamau smiled warmly. "Let's look for it together," he said. They searched the meadow, and soon, Kamau spotted the toy hidden beneath a bush. He handed it to the child, who beamed with joy. "Thank you," she exclaimed, hugging Kamau tightly. As Kamau continued on his journey, he felt a sense of fulfillment. He reached a serene lake, where an old woman sat by the water's edge. "To pass this trial, you must show wisdom," the voice instructed. The old woman looked up at Kamau. "I have 3 items, a stone, a leaf, and a feather. Each has a story. Tell me which one holds the greatest wisdom." Kamau thought carefully. He picked up the stone. The stone is strong and enduring, but it does not change. He picked up the leaf. The leaf is vibrant and full of life, but it withers with time. Finally, he picked up the feather. The feather is light and free, able to travel far and wide, spreading knowledge and learning from different places. The old woman smiled. You have chosen wisely, Kamau. The feather represents the ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. You have passed the final trial. With the trials complete, Kamau returned to the enchanted baobab. The tree's voice spoke warmly. You have proven your courage, kindness, and wisdom. The treasure you seek lies not in gold or riches, but in the strength and unity of your community. Use this knowledge to continue guiding and supporting your village. Kamau felt a profound sense of understanding and gratitude. He knew that the true treasure was the bond he shared with his people and the wisdom he had gained through his journey. But the adventure was far from over. As Kamau emerged from the passage, he noticed Nia waiting with a knowing smile. Your journey has just begun, Kamau. There are many more secrets and challenges ahead, ones that will test not only you but the entire village of Njoro.